Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." This quote speaks volumes about the power of mindset. Mindset, in essence, is a set of beliefs or a way of thinking that determines one's behavior, outlook, and mental attitude. It's like a mental lens through which we view the world, and it heavily influences how we interact with and respond to our surroundings. But why is this concept so important? Well, because it's a pivotal part of our personal development. It dictates our perceptions of ourselves and our abilities, shaping our thoughts, actions, and ultimately, our results. It's the invisible hand that guides us through life, steering us towards either success or failure. And it's not just about success in terms of career or wealth. It's about success in every aspect of life: personal relationships, physical health, emotional well-being, and spiritual growth. It's about fostering resilience, nurturing creativity, and unlocking potential. The power of mindset is also evident in how we face challenges. Life, as we all know, is not a smooth sail. There are ups and downs, twists and turns, and sometimes storms so fierce that they threaten to capsize our boat. But with the right mindset, we can weather these storms. We can turn adversities into opportunities, failures into lessons, and obstacles into stepping stones towards success. It's worth noting that our mindset is not fixed. It's not a static, unchangeable part of our identity. Rather, it's malleable and can be shaped and reshaped over time. This is where the concept of a growth mindset comes into play. A growth mindset is a belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication, hard work, and a love of learning. It's about seeing potential where others see limitations, about embracing challenges instead of avoiding them, about persisting in the face of setbacks instead of giving up. Indeed, the type of mindset we choose to adopt can make all the difference in our lives. There are two main types of mindsets that people generally possess: a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Let's begin by exploring the fixed mindset. Picture a tree with its roots firmly planted in the ground, unchanging and unyielding. That's a good metaphor for a fixed mindset. People with this mindset believe their abilities, intelligence, and talents are predetermined and unchangeable. They see failure as a reflection of their inherent worth, often leading them to avoid challenges and criticism to protect their self-esteem. But while this approach may offer a sense of security, it also tends to limit personal growth and potential. Now, imagine a river, constantly flowing and reshaping its course. This is akin to a growth mindset. Individuals who embody this mindset view their abilities as evolving qualities that can be developed and improved over time. They see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, and they embrace failure as a crucial part of the learning process. This mindset fuels a love for learning, resilience in the face of setbacks, and ultimately leads to greater achievement and success. So what do these mindsets look like in the real world? Consider the story of Thomas Edison, the mastermind behind the light bulb. With a fixed mindset, Edison could have easily given up after his first few failed attempts. But instead, he embraced a growth mindset, viewing each failure as a stepping stone towards success. After more than 1,000 attempts, he finally succeeded, proving that with persistence and a growth mindset, even the seemingly impossible can be achieved. On the other hand, we have the story of a talented athlete, let's call him John, who believed his abilities were innate and unchangeable. When faced with a challenging match, John chose to avoid the situation rather than risk failure and damage to his reputation. This fixed mindset ultimately limited his ability to improve and reach his full potential. As we can see, the mindset we choose to adopt can significantly influence our approach to life. It's not about being smart or talented. It's about believing in our capacity to learn, grow, and overcome obstacles. That is the power of a growth mindset. But let's delve deeper. What does science have to say about our mindsets? In the heart of this discussion is a fascinating concept known as neuroplasticity, which essentially refers to the brain's malleability. Contrary to what was once believed, our brains are not fixed structures. They can change and grow throughout our lives. The neurons in our brains are continually forming new connections and pathways, reshaping our minds as we learn and experience the world. Neuroplasticity is truly the cornerstone of a growth mindset. When we adopt this mindset, we're leveraging the brain's natural ability to adapt and evolve. We're acknowledging that, just like our muscles, our brains can be trained and strengthened, and just as a weightlifter might lift heavier weights to build muscle, we can challenge our brains with new experiences and knowledge to foster growth. The concept of a growth mindset goes hand in hand with learning and adaptability. It encourages us to view challenges as opportunities to stretch our mental muscles, rather than as insurmountable obstacles. With a growth mindset, we become better learners, more adaptable to change, and more open to new ideas and perspectives. But don't just take my word for it. Let's look at some real-life success stories. Consider the case of a young woman who, despite growing up in poverty, went on to earn a PhD from a prestigious university. How? She cultivated a growth mindset, believing that she could learn and grow beyond her circumstances. Or think about the successful entrepreneur who, after several failed ventures, finally found success. He didn't see his failures as the end, but as opportunities to learn and adapt. These stories are not exceptions. They're the rule when it comes to the power of a growth mindset. They show us that our potential is not fixed, but rather, it's something we can shape and expand through learning and adaptability. Clearly, our brains are far more adaptable than we might have imagined. And with a growth mindset, we can harness this adaptability to unlock our full potential. Now that we understand the importance and benefits of a growth mindset, how can we cultivate it? Well, the first step is developing self-awareness. This is the ability to identify and understand your own emotions, behaviors, and tendencies. It's about recognizing when you're falling into a fixed mindset trap and challenging those thoughts. For instance, when you find yourself thinking, "I can't do this," pause and reframe that thought to, "I can't do this yet, but I can learn." Embracing challenges is another crucial aspect of cultivating a growth mindset. It's about viewing difficulties not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for personal development and enrichment. Imagine you're faced with a challenging task. Instead of saying, "This is too hard," try thinking, "This is going to help me grow and improve." Remember, challenges are not threats, but opportunities for growth. Lastly, let's consider the role of effort and persistence. A growth mindset acknowledges that effort is a necessary part of learning and growth. It's not about getting it right the first time, but about persisting until you do. When you encounter a setback, don't give up. Instead, double down on your efforts, and you'll find that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. When you combine self-awareness, the ability to embrace challenges, and a commitment to effort and persistence, you create a powerful formula for cultivating a growth mindset. It's about continuously striving to learn, grow, and improve, regardless of the obstacles in your path. But remember, cultivating a growth mindset isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process that requires consistent effort and commitment. It's about making a conscious decision every day to choose growth over stagnation, learning over complacency, and improvement over perfection. Remember, cultivating a growth mindset is a continuous process, but the rewards are well worth the effort. A growth mindset not only helps us to grow, but it also equips us to better handle obstacles. One of the most powerful tools in our growth mindset arsenal is the ability to reframe failures as learning experiences. Instead of viewing failure as a dead end or a reflection of our worth, we can choose to see it as a stepping stone, a lesson to be learned. Each failure becomes a teacher, guiding us closer to our goals. It's like a detour sign on the road to success, redirecting us to a more effective route. Now, let's consider constructive feedback. It's not always easy to hear criticism, especially when we've put our heart and soul into something. But remember, a growth mindset encourages us to view feedback as a gift, not a threat. It's a lens that allows us to see ourselves from a different perspective, highlighting areas we might have overlooked. Constructive feedback is like a personal coach, pointing out where we can improve and helping us to become the best version of ourselves. Finally, we can't talk about overcoming obstacles without discussing resilience. Resilience is our ability to bounce back from setbacks, to stand up each time we fall. It's the grit that keeps us going when the going gets tough. But how do we build resilience? It starts with a belief in our ability to grow and improve. It's fueled by our determination to learn from our mistakes and our willingness to embrace challenges. Like a muscle, resilience strengthens with use. The more we face and overcome obstacles, the more resilient we become. In a world where change is the only constant, having a growth mindset is not just beneficial, it's essential. It's the key that unlocks our potential and turns our obstacles into stepping stones towards success. With a growth mindset, every obstacle becomes an opportunity for growth. As we reach the end of our discussion, let's revisit the key concepts we've discussed. We started by understanding the power of mindset and the significant difference between a fixed and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset limits our potential, leading us to believe that our abilities are unchangeable. On the other hand, a growth mindset opens up a world of possibilities, encouraging us to perceive challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. We delved into the science behind mindset, exploring the concept of neuroplasticity. Our brains are not rigid structures, but rather malleable and capable of change. This capacity to adapt and evolve is enhanced by a growth mindset which fuels our learning and adaptability. We were inspired by success stories of individuals who transformed their lives by embracing this mindset. Next, we discussed how to cultivate a growth mindset. It starts with self-awareness, recognizing our fixed mindset tendencies and challenging them. Embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, putting in effort, and persisting despite difficulties are key to developing a growth mindset. We also explored strategies to overcome obstacles. Reframing failures as learning experiences, handling criticism constructively, and building resilience are essential steps in this journey. While we have covered much today, remember that developing a growth mindset is an ongoing process. It requires continuous self-reflection, effort, and a commitment to personal growth. So, I encourage you to reflect on your mindset. Consider the areas where you might be holding on to a fixed mindset and commit to cultivating a growth mindset instead. With a growth mindset, the possibilities for personal and professional growth are truly limitless. Remember, it's not about where you start, but how far you're willing to go.